I have done this. I have done this more than once because I've been told that's what was wanted from me. The result, they feel like you just dumped all your problems on them and ran. All right, everybody, how are we doing today? We are going to be reviewing another video from the channel named the Wingmam, M-A-M. I think I said it wrong the last time. The lady's name is Anna. She's got a good YouTube channel. And I'm reviewing this video because I agree with a lot of the things that she says on her channel. But this one particular video really illustrates something that is almost an impossibly delicate line to balance the line to walk. I think that's the words I'm looking for. The title of the video is How to Be a Masculine Man with Emotions. And she is going to attempt to explain to men how to show your emotions to women without turning them off. She does the best possible job I think she could, but in the end, well, just listen to what she has to say.
Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about how to balance alpha masculinity with vulnerability. So you know how women are always like, oh, I wish he was a better communicator. I wish he was all these feminine things. But then as soon as you are, she gets turned off and leaves you. Well, this is how you do it so that she doesn't leave you, but you still get to express your emotional vulnerability. Number one, be unapologetically, confidently you. So whoever you are, be you unapologetically. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. There's the door if you don't like it.
All right, so number one is being authentically you, just basically having a take it or leave it attitude. Now, while I don't necessarily disagree with that advice in general, I don't really know what that has to do with showing your emotions. Basically, you're saying be however and whoever you are, which is fine. That's good advice. But so far, like is going to be illustrated in the rest of this video, the topic of trying to be masculine while also showing your emotions proves to be very difficult to explain.
Number two, don't give it to her all at once. So what I mean by that is that vulnerability and sharing our vulnerable side is something that should be doled out over time through trust. So don't just unload on her all of your troubles and all of your deepest worries and fears and all of the feminine things. Don't do that all at once.
Okay, don't give it all to her at once, all of your worries and fears. She gives it away in the next thing that she says. Don't give it to her all at once. Don't just unload all your worries and fears on her, all of the feminine stuff. So she gives it away. She admits right there that when you discuss your worries and fears with a woman, they interpret that as you being feminine, as you being not masculine. So right off the bat, she's admitting that, yeah, if you share that stuff with your girl, it's an impossible balance of just guessing the mood that she's in and how long have you known her and what can you actually say without being taken to be too feminine. It's an impossible line to draw. And she says it right here without realizing it. They consider men talking about their worries and fears as something that's feminine.
And another side note on that point is that if you don't reveal it all at once, then she will feel honored when she's earned it.
Now, she also says that a woman will feel honored should you choose to share this side of you with her. No, that is how she will act. That is how she will act. But how she will feel is she's going to immediately feel pressure and immediately unsafe and wonder, is this man actually masculine enough?
Which brings me to tip number three. You have to have standards, you have to set boundaries, and you have to follow through on consequences. So when you can do that, then she'll know that you're solid in your foundation as a man. You are grounded in your masculinity so that she doesn't see you as having to be a child that needs to be nurtured or to be mothered. There's a big difference between nurturing and mothering. If a woman gets to a place where she feels like she has to mother you, suck sexual attraction goes way down. Women naturally want to nurture, and if you've done it right, she'll want to nurture you when you express your vulnerability. But if you've done it wrong, she'll feel like she has to mother you.
Then she talks about having standards and boundaries and following through with consequences. Again, this is good, solid advice, just like number one, being authentically you. But what does that have to do with showing your emotions to a woman? It really doesn't. It really doesn't. She's trying to make it sound like there's something here, like there's a magic bullet, like there's an actual way to do it. But even Anna is struggling with coming up with genuine actions that a man can take. And then she discusses the whole nurturing versus mothering thing. The woman wants to nurture you, but not mother you. But it's the man's responsibility to disclose his feminine side and his emotions. It's a man's responsibility to disclose that in a manner of which will trigger her nurturing gene, but not the mothering gene. But the problem we have today is that most women kind of they consider the stuff that is nurturing to be mothering because it's similar to what the mother has done for the man, whether it be make the meals, do the laundry, clean house. If you're in that kind of a traditional relationship, a lot of the things that women consider nurturing kind of are mothering. It's a very difficult line to decipher, and the responsibility here is placed within the man if you do it right or if you do it wrong. But that right or wrong is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. However you couch your emotions to a woman, it is going to land different with every woman. It is going to land different with the same woman, depending on how her mood is every 5 minutes. So you're in a danger zone already.
Tip number 4, have and maintain a solid group of friends, or even a friend or two, who you can share your vulnerabilities with so that you don't have to unload on your woman.
All right, the next one is have a good group of male friends to talk to. And she also talks about how when you withhold your emotions, it heightens the mystery. So let's see where we are here, okay? Being authentically you, take it or leave it attitude. Good advice, but has nothing to do with sharing your emotions, okay? Don't give it all to her at once. She says giving your woman too much of your worries and fears, any discussion of that is feminine, okay? But so you do want to do it, you don't want to do it. What are we saying here, Anna? She's saying she will feel honored. No, she may act honored, but she's not going to feel that way, okay? The standards and boundaries and following through on consequences, that's fine. That's good, solid advice. But again, this has nothing to do with sharing your emotions. And then, of course, it becomes the man's fault if whatever he says or however he approaches things, if that leads to the woman feeling like she's mothering him instead of nurturing him, it's the man's fault. So where's the good part? Where's the payoff for the man in doing this at all? We're going to get to the last point that she makes, and then we'll wrap it up.
And number 6, possibly the most important point, tip, just the tip, that probably a lot of guys have been failing on. And this is the key point that will either have her stay or go. You need to, after releasing a moment or a conversation or some amount, you're in a session of vulnerability with her. After that, as soon as possible, instead of retreating and feeling like a child, which might feel safe at the time, but it's going to turn her off, you need to get out and reclaim your masculinity by some form of masculine action. Get the heck out in the backyard and chop some firewood, or go play hockey with your buddies, or go dirt bike riding, or go watch a ball game, or go hang out with the guys and drink too much. Okay, don't never drink too much.
All right, so the last one sounds good in theory, but in practice, it's like anything else. Reclaim your masculinity, okay? Now, what she's saying here is don't give her too much. Just give her a little bit of your fears, worries, emotions, whatever that is. Not too much, because she's going to consider it all feminine. And if you do too much of that, she's going to want to start mothering you. So you just kind of give it to her and then go outside and mow the grass or chop the trees or whatever. I have done this. More than once because I've been told that's what was wanted from me. The result, they feel like you just dumped all your problems on them and ran 100% of the time. If you don't sit there and elaborate and elongate the conversation, they're going to that night, well, you just dumped all your problems on me and ran. I've been sitting here all day thinking about it. You just went outside and you were fine. Here's the bottom line, guys. Okay. Anna means well here. She really, all five reallys, she really means well. The bottom line is there is no safe way to do this. You can, on occasion, throw the dart from across the room at the right time of the day with the right crosswinds and nail it and get empathy or sympathy or nurturing. It can happen, but in general, that's going to happen maybe, and I might be being a bit hyperbolic here to the overside, that might happen 5% of the time. Most of the time, it's going to be misunderstood, misconstrued, especially misconstrued. I'm sure all of you cannot count how many times you're just trying to share something that is going on with you, and your woman, she will take it personally. She will take it as you complaining about her, and it has nothing to do with her. Bottom line, gentlemen, is just she has really good advice here. Be authentically you, have a take it or leave it attitude. Perfect. Set boundaries, follow through with consequences. Perfect. Have a good group of male friends to talk to. Withhold your emotions because it keeps things mysterious. Done. That's it. That's all. That's the gold right there. Any other attempt at explanation is how a man can release his emotions to a woman. There's no magic bullet. There's no formula. It's just complete guesswork. And most of the time, it leaves you guessing, how did that go wrong so fast?